As Israel and the U.S. push hard for a hostage deal, many questions remain about what will become of Hamas and Gaza. Joining us now to discuss all the options on the table is Kobi Michael of the INSS and the Misgav Institute. Kobi, thank you so much for joining us today. Just to start, what do you expect to see from the current hostage negotiations, and what are the major stumbling blocks?
It looks that everybody, mainly the Americans, is trying to extend the first phase of the agreement in order to facilitate maybe better conditions for the continuation of the agreement. But I'm really skeptic in this regard, and even if at the end of the day the phase one will be extended, I don't think that we will be able to reach to phase two, because the gaps between both sides, Hamas and Israel, are unbridgeable. And at the end of the day, I think that Israel will find itself in the second round against Hamas, and I hope that this time it will be much more shorter and effective.
Now, in recent days, Israel has expressed some frustration over the U.S. directly negotiating with Hamas. How is Israel handling this, and are there fundamental differences in terms of the goals of the United States versus the goals of Israel on this issue?
I think that it was a very severe problem. The idea that the American administration splits its channels of negotiation with Hamas, where one of the channels is even a direct channel, the channel of Adam Boller. I think that this was a huge mistake, because first of all, it legitimizes Hamas. Secondly, it enables Hamas to manipulate everybody and to maneuver between the negotiators and between the moderators, and to earn more time. And time is the most crucial asset that or resource that Hamas needs today in order to establish its control over the territory and the population in Gaza, in order to reconstitute itself militarily, in order to increase or to strengthen the cooperation and the coordination with the Arab world, and in order to enable to the entire resistance axis led by Iran to improve its capacities, because at the end of the day, they are willing to launch another October 7th. I mean, nothing has been changed with regard to their aspirations. And I think that it was a huge mistake. It looks that the American administration now tries to correct it by shutting down the channel of Adam Boller. But Hamas, they know the work, and they know how to manipulate, and unfortunately they are succeeding in manipulating all the parties. And I'm really concerned about the option that at the end of the day we will find ourselves without the hostages and with Hamas as the sovereign power of the Gaza Strip. And I think that Israel cannot tolerate it, and I think that it will be a huge mistake if Israel will accept it. And I hope that the level of the coordination, the cooperation between the American administration and Israel is in a manner that will enable Israel to accomplish its strategic objectives at the end of the day.
Now, we are running out of time, so I'll have to keep it brief, but I got to ask you, the Arab world has stepped up in response to Trump's proposal to remove Palestinians from Gaza, with an option that essentially leaves the door open to Hamas being in some kind of power. Obviously, the U.S. and Israel both oppose this. Is there any scenario in which Israel could compromise on this? And can you explain a little bit to our viewers about why that wouldn't be a safe option for Israel?
I think that this is not an option at all. I think that Israel should say, and I'm talking about the Arab League summit, that was held in Cairo last week. I think that Israel should say the following: we are ready to accept any plan with regard to the reconstruction of the Gaza Strip only in the day after Hamas is not there anymore. Until then, don't talk to us, because there is no any program or any idea that will succeed or can be realized in the Gaza Strip as long as Hamas remains there as the sovereign power. And I think that when we are reading carefully the statement of the Arab League summit from last week, I think that this is a sort of empty words, because Hamas is not mentioned there even once. Israel is condemned in a very severe manner, and they are talking about the Egyptian plan with regard to the reconstruction of the Gaza Strip without mentioning what is going to be there with Hamas. And in addition to that, they provide platforms that will enable Hamas to be part of the day after in the Gaza Strip and part of the entire Palestinian system by calling for reforms of the PLO and the Palestinian Authority that will include all the Palestinian factions. What is the meaning of all the Palestinian factions? It includes Hamas as well.
Of course, of course. Well, unfortunately, we are out of time. Don't want to cut you off there, but we are out of time. Thank you so much for joining us, Kobi Michael from the INSS and the Misgav Institute. Thank you.
Thank you for having me. Bye-bye.